Hi guys, this is how to apply for your director ID online. So if you watched the first video, I've run through what a DIN, director identification number is. Thought I would run through how to actually do it together. So I had to go at recording myself, but recorded the wrong screen. So now we have Dan, who is going to be our example. As a director of a company, you have to do your accountant, tax agent can't do it on your behalf, but Dan and I are Dan's gonna do it and I'm gonna help guide him. So I am on the ABRS website and I've navigated to how to apply for your director ID. There are essentially 3 steps to doing that. The first being set up your MyGovID, not to get confused with MyGov. I'll put a little screenshot on the, in a second showing you the different apps, but you'll need to set up your MyGovID. I know a lot of people already have this set up on their phone. We literally just set it up on Dan's phone and we used his Medicare card and his driver's license to do that. So that was took less than 5 minutes. Won't go through that process in detail, but if you go on the ABRS website, you can get instructions on how to do that. Step number 2. So you'll need to gather some basic information. And I'll highlight that here. Your TFN number, residential address, and 2 documents to verify your identity. So if we just quickly read the list below, it could be a bank account, notice of assessment, super details dividend, payment summary, or an old pay-as-you-go payment summary, which don't really exist anymore because now we've moved to STP, finalizations, electronic reporting. In this case, we have Dan's bank details, which the ATO will have for any tax refunds that have gone into his bank account. And I've also got a notice of assessment. So I'll do a little screenshot of what a notice assessment looks like. I've blanked out all details for privacy. So if you're looking for that, you can go onto your MyGov, log in online to MyGov, and you should be able to grab that off there if that's not readily available to you. Cool. All right, step number 3, complete an application. So we'll go ahead and get Dan to apply now. So if we click on here, let's see what happens. Okay, so I will put in Dan's email address. Well, he'll put in his email address. You won't see this because it's be blanked out. And we'll log in. So Dan now opens his iPhone and goes to MyGovID app, which then will, he'll authenticate that to go in, like your second sort of step of security. So he's just entering the code because he hasn't logged in with MyGovID yet. And lo and behold, we're into the next page. Cool. So have a little read through here, just making sure everything makes sense. This is obviously your sort of T's and C's, and we're Dan's agreeing to using this system. Cool. It'll have your name and date of birth. These again have been blanked out for privacy. And we are going to confirm our identity details. So it's interesting because when I did mine, I didn't have to do any of this. I think I'd previously submitted some sort of my ID details another way, but we can go ahead and do that. So let's have a go at the notice of assessment. So on the other screen, I'm going to put in date of issue. Again, you won't be able to see this information, and then the reference ID, reference number. All right, and then we have some bank details. So let's go ahead and put those in. Again, these will be blanked out for security purposes. Right. Now, let's see, and so with that, we have been able to verify Dan's ID with the identity details, and we'll go ahead and hit continue. see where this leads to next. So Dan's going to read application requirements that he complies with everything that's listed on the screen. Tick the relevant boxes, making sure, you know, he's over 18, individual, not disqualified. And we know that that's the case. Now we've got personal details that we will review. So again, this is blanked out. We'll go ahead and make sure that that's all true and correct. And we're just reviewing the details here, making sure we're in line with application requirements, making sure Dan's details are all correct, and making sure that the notations are all good to do that. Perfect. And that's it. So in front of, on the very last page, you'll have your director identification number. We will go ahead and save that down, and it'll actually tell you next step. So once, save it down, record that ID. I mean, it's important as like your TFN or your ABN. And me as a tax agent, if you're a client of mine, can you please send me your director ID number so we can save that down in the relevant place for you. And it also mentions that if someone else is looking after your corporate secretarial affairs, to give that to the relevant person there. If you're a company director, please go ahead and complete your application form to get your DIN. Any questions, drop us a comment, DM, email. We'll try and help where we can. Otherwise, the ABRS website should be able to have all that information there for you. I hope that video was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye.